ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वति नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्ते भेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणम् तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिम् यत्कृपात्तमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमम् देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः।
ॐ श्री
ॐ
परमात्मने
श्री
नमः।
परमात्मने नमः।
अथ त्रयोदशोऽध्यायः।
अथ
अथ
त्रयोदशोऽध्यायः।
त्रयोदशोऽध्यायः।
श्रीभगवानुवाच
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 श्लोका नंबर 24 य एवं वेत्ति पुरुषं प्रकृतिं च गुणैः सह
य एवं वेत्ति पुरुषं प्रकृतिं च गुणैः सह
सर्वथा वर्तमानोऽपि न स भूयोऽभिजायते।
सर्वथा वर्तमानोऽपि न स भूयोऽभिजायते।
ध्यानेनात्मनि पश्यन्ति केचिदात्मानमात्मना
ध्यानेनात्मनि पश्यन्ति केचिदात्मानमात्मना
अन्ये साङ्ख्येन योगेन कर्मयोगेन चापरे
अन्ये साङ्ख्येन योगेन कर्मयोगेन चापरे
Up to that we saw 25th was the last shloka. Prakriti Purushayoho Jnanam. Ka Prakritihi Kaha Purushaha Iti Arjunena Prashtaha Tayoho Jnanasya Kim Palam Prakriti Purushayoho Jnana Palam. Aha Bhagavan. Yaha Evam is Ukta Prakarera. It means Prakriti and Purusha taught the previous shlokas. That is Satyam Mitya. Purushaha, otherwise called Kshetrajnaha, Atma Brahma, which is Satyam. Prakriti Granatmika Bhaya. So all these Prakriti, Vikaraha, Prakriti Gunaha. Deha is Kshetrajna, which is Prakriti. The Jagat is, which is Prakriti. So, therefore, Purushaha, Prakritistaha. Purushaha, which is obtained the Prakriti. Therefore, Purusha, which is distinct from Prakriti. Iti evam yatokta prakarena yaha Purusham Kshetragyam Janati Prakritim also, Prakritim cha, along with the Guna. Gunaihi saha, Vikaraihi saha, Sukha Dukkhadi, Vihi Vikaraihi saha. With all these Gunas attributes, different attributes are there. Gunaha, Prakriti Gunaha, all the attributes, Vikaras, modifications. Prakriti undergoes modification. Atma doesn't undergo modification. That Atma Aham, Purushaha, Kshetrajnaha. I am not Prakriti, nor the Vikaras of the Prakriti, nor the Prakriti Gunaha, Vikaras of the Prakriti. It is the Aham Purushaha, Sarvata Vartamanopi Saha Na Bhuyaha Bijayate. Whatever may be is his life, his lifestyle. Sarvata Sarva Prakarena. Vartamana Loke, Asmin Loke, Bhumau. Sarvata, in whatever way, person, in whatever life he may lead, whichever ashrama, Varnashrama, whichever stage, whatever, Saha, Muktaha eva. Even if he has the last phase of life, Muktaha Bhavati, when he clearly understands what Prakriti and what Purusha. Purusha is, Kshetrajna is myself, distinct from Prakriti. So that adhyasa, which is due to ajnanam, is gone. Therefore, where is janma for that person? Therefore, na jayate punaha, abhijayate punarjanma tasya na bhavati. Therefore, na abhijayate, na utpatyate punaha. He is freed from this cycle of the samsara. So, samsara will continue only when there is abhimana with this prakriti, that is kshetram. That is what previous class also we saw. Dehatma, Deha Matratma, Degadi Sangata Matratpadarshi. That is Ajnani. He has got Abhimana with the Shariram. Tadatmya Bhana Hatasmin Tad Buddhihi. Therefore, Saha Jayate Abhijayate. Kintu Yaha Janati, Yaha Veti, Nyaha, Jnani, Na Abhijayate Punaha Utpadyante. Having told the Palam, that is the Palam, therefore Palam is, result is freed from this transmigration of life and death, samsara. Samsara will not touch that person, is free. Then what are the means that the means for gaining this, for gaining what is the means for gaining this avastha, this moksha avastha? It is only through knowledge. For knowledge, for gaining the eligibility for knowledge, there are vikalpa sadhanani that Bhagavan highlights. So jnanam is the only means. So we know the karma yogena chitta shuddhi, then upasanaya chitta naischalya, you get jnana yogyata, then jnanam by shravanam, jnana praptihi shravanena bhavati, then followed in mananam, samshaya nivrityartham mananam, viparya nivrityartham nididhyasanam, then nishtha. This is the karma. So by that atma darshanam sambhavati. Atra atma darshane upavikalpaha uchyante. Sadhana vikalpanam, sadhana vikalpana aha. Bhagavad sadhana purusha jnane sadhana vikalpanam aha. Vikalpa is there in gaining the jnana yogyata, but not in knowledge and therefore moksha. That must be clear. Atma has to be known. Atma va drashtavya hare drashtavya. To know means how do you know it? Means to be Atmavare, Drashtavyaha, Shrotavyaha, Mantavyaha, Nididhyasitavya. Atma has to be, it has to be known. It means it has to be, first it has to be listened to, what Atma is. That is only through Shastra and the Acharya. Then it is, Maranam is done on Atma, Nididhyasanam for the removal of the Pratibandhas. Therefore, Dhyanena, Kechit, some people, Atmana, Atmanam, Atmani Pashyanti. All the Atmas we saw. That is, Dhyanam is Samadhi. By Samadhi Abhyasa. It means Samadhi Abhyasa precedes, Samadhi Abhyasa is preceded by Shravanam. That is important. But we have to always note that. Yoga Samadhi, Samadhina, Dhyanena, Samadhina, Atmana is Samagita Manasa, Chittena, Atmani in the mind, Antakarane, Atmanam, sees Atma, Sakshat Kurvanti, Pashyanti, Katam Dhyanena, by Samadhi Abhyasa. Samadhi Abhyasa is preceded by Jnanam, and Jnanam is gaining Shravanam. So that always you have to bring in. So that is by Samadhi Abhyasa. Some people, they Pashyanti Atma Sakshatkaram Kurvanti. Sakshat Kurvanti. Pashyanti Sakshat Kurvanti. Whereas Anye, other people, Sankyena, Sankhya is Jnanam. Vicharaha ityartaha. Sankhya is by knowledge. Knowledge by vichara. Vichara of Purusha and Prakriti. Kshetra and Kshetrajna. Atma and Anatma. So vichara. Therefore, Sankhya, that's why sannyasis, Sankhyanam, Sannyasinam, Jnana Yogena iti, Ishtadvayam, Bhagavan told before. So Sankhya, by Sankhya, by knowledge, Anye Pashyanti Atma Sakshatkaram Kurvanti Vicharena Shastra Vicharena Sankhya Jnana Rupa Yogena Jnana Yogena Atmana Atmanam Atmani Pashyanti Sakshat Kurvanti Atmanam Pratyatmanam Purusham. Other people Anye Kete Karma Yoginaha. Te api Atmanam Atmana Atmanam Atmani Pashyanti Katam. You have to supply. Karma Yoga is for gaining Chitta Shuddhi. Chitta Naishtalyam by Upasana, by that Jnana Yogyata Praptihi, followed by Shravanam. And Shravanena Jnanotpattihi, therefore Jnanena, all the other steps follow. So Karma Yogena, Nishkama Karma Yogena, therefore Karma Yogena Pashyanti. So Karma Yoga prepares, it helps to prepare the mind of the sadhaka. Therefore, when the time comes, you will get Atma Sakshatkaram, therefore Moksha iti. So Vikalpa is there in gaining Yogyata only. With regard to the Moksha, only one means Jnana. Keeping in mind only the shloka has to be interpreted. Otherwise, some people they gain moksha, they kechit atmanam pashyanti by jnanena, some people by vichara, some people by karma yoga. And why stop with only three? You can add so many yogas. Point is very simple. The problem being samsara and the cause being ajnanam that cannot go by any amount of karma. Chittasya shuddhaye karma natu vastu palabdhaye. So that is very clearly said in the Viveka Chudamani. Chittasya shuddhaye karma. Everything comes under karma one. Natu vastu upalabdhaye. Vastu upalabdhe, vastu upalabdhaye karma sadhanam na bhavati. Does it mean karma is not required? No. Chittasya shuddhaye. It is a sadhanam for gaining chitta shuddhi. Parampara sadhanam bhavati. Vastu siddhihi katam sambhavati vicharena na kinchit karma kotibihi. That's important. Therefore, again and again it is emphasized. Having said that, then what about the people who do not have viveka of Atma and Anatma? And also they are not prepared for, they don't understand what Atma, what the difference between Atma and Anatma. At the same time, they are also seekers of freedom, moksha. But they are not viveki, they are not Atma Anatma viveki. No idea about Atma. They don't have that mental pakvata, that maturity to understand things. There are so many people. Not all will understand also. That's why it cannot be taught to all. Even if you teach them, it won't be understood. It remains ever a rahasyam, secret only. So, what is the means for them? What is the way for them? For them, Shastra doesn't, for Shastra doesn't discard them, dismiss them. For them, Shastra prescribes other sadhanas. Other sadhanas meant for preparing the mind, for preparing oneself. They are also called by the name Shruti Parayanaha in the next shloka. Shruti Parayanaha. They are also people who want moksha, but those people are not ready to understand the Vishayas, the teaching unfolded by the Shastram, but they are ready to follow certain instructions, and by following the instruction in course of time, they will gain the necessary preparedness for understanding the Shastra. In fact, to understand Shastram only as its support auxiliary disciplines only, we have Vyakaranam, we have Tarka, etc. Tarka, etc. to keep our mind very sharp. Vyakaranam also to keep our mind very sharp, alert. All these help to understand the Shastra, ultimately to understand Shastra only. They're all very good intellectual disciplines, following which one get the ability to understand the subtle things of the Shastra, subtle thing. The subject matter is subtle thing, Atma. To understand this Sukshma Vishayas. To understand this teaching, which is Rahasyam, secret, because it is Sukshma, Atma is Sukshma, that is subject matter of the Shastra. That is why it is called Rahasyam. Upanishad is called Rahasyam. Rahasyam means it is not something which is kept below the carpet, not visible for others secretly. It's not like that. Even if it is taught, it won't be understood. It is sacred. To understand, one must be prepared. For them, certain disciplines are taught. Certain disciplines are taught by some acharya, by some teacher, their respective teacher. So by that also they can come to the readiness of understanding the Shastra and by Shravanam gain knowledge and they can be freed from the samsara, from this mrityu. That Bhagavan says in the next shloka. Anye iti. Let us read. Anye evamajanantah shrutvanyebhya upasate.
अन्ये त्वेवमजानन्तः श्रुतवाङ्गेभ्य उपासते
उपासते
Epi chatitarantyeva mrityum shrutiparayanah.
तेऽपि
तेऽपि
चातितरन्त्येव
चातितरन्त्येव
वृत्तिं
मृत्युं
श्रुतिपरायणाः
श्रुतिपरायणाः
Anye tu evam ajanantah. Anye tu. Anye is other people. Tu Vailakshanyarte tu. So Anye tu, whereas the other people, then it means some people are told before. Therefore, Purvoktebhyaha Anyebhyaha. Purvokta in the previous shloka talked about Samadhi, those people who practice Samadhi Abhyasa, Rupaniti Dhyasanam, and those who do Vichara of the Shastram, Sankhya and Karma Yoga, Karma Yogis. So Tebhyaha Vilakshanaha. Therefore, two Vailakshanyati, other people. Anye tu evam, yatokta prakarena, ukta prakarena, evam ajanantaha. Ajanantaha atmanam na janantaha apashyantaha. Not pashyantaha. So therefore, the other than the people who are mentioned in the previous shloka, for them the pursuit of this jnanam is not possible. Therefore, anyebhyaha, anye, ajanantaha, janantaha. Pratama vibhakti Bhagavachanam. Ajanantaha, anye, those who do not know. Purusham apashyantaha. Te, anyebhyaha. From anyebhyaha is from other people. Shrutva, having listened to. Akarnya, Shrutva. Shrutva is what Shrutva? Atma Darshana Upayam Shrutva. Having, Shrutva, they listen to the means of knowing Atma. Atmanaha Darshana Upayam, the means. That is, the means to see the Atma is, that is, Atma is only by knowledge. But to understand that, itself certain disciplines are required. So, therefore, the means for that. Anyebhyaha, from Anyebhyaha, Acharyebhyaha, from other. There are also Acharya who teaches certain disciplines by that person can prepare. So maybe the Acharya, knowing the person that is not ready for Shravanam, this happens. People, they come to Gurukulam, some people are, their applications are dismissed. So because by seeing them, by interviewing them, we'll come to know they are not yet ready for that. So we ask them, when the Acharya of the Gurukulam, they ask to do some study, to wait for some time. So some even, or there can be given some prescription of like puja, japa, etc. The mantra is given as them to do puraschana japa. They're all sadhana. So that by that they will gain the necessary preparedness for Shravana. So it is, they don't know what Karma Yoga even, that Karma Yoga also prescription, like Arjuna was given the prescription of Karma Yoga by Bhagavad. So Arjuna listened with rapt attention to the entire listening, in fact, listening to the entire teaching. Shruti Parayanaha, therefore, those people who hear Anyebhyaha Acharyebhyaha Shrutva Upasate, they follow Kurvanti Upasate, and they are Shruti Parayanaha. So Shruti Parayanaha is Upasate is Anushtiyante. Yatashravanam Anushtiyante, they follow. As they listen, the instruction from the teachers, respective teachers, they follow. They are also Shruti Parayanaha eva. Shrutihi is Shravanam, Upadeshaha. And it is Parayanaha, it is Purushasya, Atmanasya, Prapto, Jnane, Darshane, Sadhanam. So therefore Shruti Parayanaha, that is the Sadhanam. The Shravanam is the Sadhanam. And that is the Param Ayanam Param Gatihi Yeshamte Shruti Parayanaha. They listen to the prescriptions given by the Acharyas. Acharya may ask them, like in Prashnopanishad, 6 disciples came to Pipalada and asked questions. Acharya did not teach, immediately. The moment they asked, Acharya did not start his discourse. He asked them to be in the Gurukulam and work for 1 year. At the end of 1 year, the teacher said, if you have answers for your question, then I will answer. Then you can ask me, and if I have answers for your question, then I will answer. That also guarantee was not given that I would answer. I know I would answer. He didn't say that. And they worked to the Parayanaha, just following the instructions of the teacher. So therefore, they also have got their commitment. Therefore, Shruti Parayanaha. What they do or what they're asked to do, they do not have direct connection with what they want, but they have indirect connection. They are committed to doing what the teachers say. That would be that would indirectly connect to the final end. Final end is crossing over the death. That is mokshaha. Therefore, te api cha atitaranti eva. They also cross over. They also cross over this mrityum. This is mrityum, this maranam, the samsaram, atitaranti, avashyam atikramanti. Atikramanti, taranti, na punaha avijayate. The word mrityum taranti means punaha na mriyante. Meaning they do not die again. It means they will not burn and therefore there will not be death for them. So there is no death for them. Punaha mrityum taranti, punaha na mriyante, punaha janma prapnoti ataha na mriyante, punaha na vijayante. How? By following the instructions of the respective acharyas, they get the necessary qualification for gaining the eligibility for listening to the Shastra. So, Shruti Parayanaha means not here in this context, referring to the people who are committed to and following the instruction of their acharyas, the teachers. Anyebhyaha from others. This is Panchami Vibhakti. Anyebhyaha Shrutva. What? These instructions. Anyebhyaha, this Upadesha. Anyebhyaha Upadesham. Sadhanam Shrutva. Shruti Parayanaha te upasate anuttishtante ante api mrityum taranti samsaram taranti. Therefore, here Shruti Parayanaha, Shruti is Shravanam, which is Param Ayanam Gamanam, Moksha Pravruttau, Param Sadhanam, Yeshamte, Shruti Parayanaha, for Moksha Prapti, that is a Param Sadhanam for whom? They are called Shruti Parayanaha. So Shruti is Shravanam, listening. Gamanam, Ayanam is going. Going means where to go. That is Moksha Margo Pravritta. To pursue the path of moksha, Param Sadhanam is the Shravanam, and they are committed to that. Therefore, they are called Shruti Parayanaha. They appear Atikamanti. This Mrityu Yuktam Samsaram, this samsara which is endowed with Mrityu, death, they cross over. So, Kalena Vivekinam Bhutva Jnanam Prapya Atma Sakshatkaram Kurvanti Muktaha Bhavanti Ityartaha. So that is the preparation. Then moksha is possible how? By the gaining the knowledge of Purusha. Purusha which is distinct from Prakriti. Gaining the knowledge of Kshetra which is distinct, gaining the knowledge of Kshetrajna which is distinct from Kshetra. That is the Kshetra Kshetrajna Yoho. That which chapter itself is called Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga Jnanam Vidhi. So that is the Viveka Jnanam, Atmanatha Viveka Jnanam. By distinctly understand and knowing that Kshetrajna and Ishvara is one, the person gains moksha. So therefore the knowledge of oneness of Jivatma and Paramatma, Kshetrajna and Ishvara, that alone is a means for moksha. That is the end. Keeping the end in mind, the sadhanams are prescribed depending on the person. So that is given. Now, why that Aikya Jnanam leads to moksha? How is that Aikya Jnanam leads to moksha? That Bhagavan says. Because Jnanena Yava Moksha, Aikya Jnanena Yava Moksha, moksha is not something physically gained. It is already Siddha Vishayaha. That is the Jnanam. Jnanena Moksha is a notion, the notional ignorance is removed by the knowledge. So knowledge alone removes Ajnanam, because the cause is Ajnanam. Ajnanam is notional, not real. The notional, that Ajnanam is removed by Jnanam, by that moksha. Therefore, the notion that Aham Binnaha, Ishvarat Binnaha, that is a cause for samsara, that notion has to go. The notion has to go, means there is Aikya Jnanam, Enayam Mokshaha, that Acharya, that Bhagavan here, he says, why by knowledge moksha is gained? How is that? He says the next shloka. Because that is the moksha is the end. How people may question? How you say that Aikya Jnanena Moksha Sambhavati? For which the answer is the next shloka. Let us read. Yavat Sanjayate Kinchit Sattvam Sthavara Jangamam
यावत् सञ्जायते किञ्चित् सत्त्वं स्थावरजङ्गमम्
क्षेत्रज्ञ संयोगात् तद्विद्धि भरतर्षभ
क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञसंयोगात् तद्विद्धि
Tadvidhi
भरतर्षभ
Bharatarshava.
Sthavara Jangamam. Yavat Sanjayate Kinchit Sattvam Sthavara Jangamam. Kshetrajna Sanyogat Vidhi Bharatarshava. Bharatarshava Bharatavamsha Sreshta. Yavat Tavat. Yavat Kinchit Sthavara Jangamam. Stavara Jangamam, Stavaram cha Jangamam cha tayo samaharaha Stavara Jangamam Charam Acharam Characharatmakam. So Stavaram Jangamam, this mobile and immobile things. What is we see in the world? Mobile and immobile. Stavara, that which do not, that which doesn't move. Jangama, that which moves. So Sattvam means that which is existing. So whether that which is existing, whether it is Stavara, Jangama, whatever it is Sanjayate. So Stavara Jangamam, Stavaram va Jangamam va. Stavaram Jangamam, Sattvam, Stavara Jangamam, Sanjayate. It is born, Samutpadyate. Stavara Jangamam Sanjayate. Sattvam Jam Sanjayate means comes to existence. Kinchit Sattvam Sanjayate Yavat. Then Yavat Parimanatam. So as long as any Sattvam, the existing thing, it could be Stavara or Jangama, whatever it is. Sanjayate, it is there, it is existing. May you know that is born, it is there due to what? Kshetra Kshetragya Sanyogat Sanjayate. It is born because of the connection between the Kshetra and Kshetragya. Kshetra and Kshetragya, Kshetra is Prakriti, Kshetragya Purusha. So Purusha Prakriti Prakrityoho Sanyoga. Kshetrasya Kshetrasya Prakritehe. Kshetrajnasya Atmanaha. Therefore, Purusha Prakrityoho Sanyoga. How Purusha and Prakriti can have Sanyoga? It is possible. That is the job of Maya. Agatita Gatana Patiyasi Maya. It can do the nuptial knot between Prakriti and Purusha. Vidya, that Maya can do, Vidya can do. So, therefore, Janma, that birth, is due to the Sanyoga of the Kshetra and Kshetrajna. Then Maranam is Viyoga between Kshetra and Kshetrajna. Not Maranam. That is Maranam. Maranam also there is Sanyoga. If this Sharira is not there, I am going to gain another Sharira. Stula is not the Sukshma Sharira. Therefore, that is also Kshetra only. But we are talking about Viyoga is ultimate Viyoga, final Viyoga. That is separation of Kshetra and Kshetrajna. This Moksha. If Sanyoga is real, then Viyoga also will be real. If Sanyoga is real and the Viyoga is real, if Viyoga has to be real, if Viyoga is real, again Sanyoga is possible. Therefore, there is no real Sanyoga. Kshetrajna is Atma and Kshetra is Anatma. What kind of Sanyoga is possible between Kshetra and Kshetrajna, Atma and Anatma? It is Sanyoga. It is Sanyoga. It is Mithya Sanyoga. It is Sanyoga is not real. The Sanyoga, because Atma is, it is Niravaya Atma, it is Nirvishesha Atma. And Kshetrajna is, it is Savayava, it is Savishesha. If Kshetra is comparable to the darkness, Kshetrajna is light. So therefore the Kshetra is considered to be Kshetrajna. That is due to Atasmin Tadbuddhihi, it is misplaced Abhimana. One thing is mistaken for the another. Therefore, property of one thing is superimposed on the another. So it is like a Raju Sarpa. Raju user on that Sarpa is superimposed. It is due to Ajnana. Therefore, similarly, the association of Kshetra and Kshetrajna, which is due to Adhyasa, like Raju Sarpa, it is due to false understanding, false cognition. It is a wrong knowledge born due to ignorance. So, therefore, through ignorance, Sanyoga is possible. Then the Viyoga is possible by what method? Only by knowledge. And therefore, Shastram. Therefore, Shastra alone reveals the truth of Kshetrajna, and the knowledge is that Kshetrajna is always distinct. It is always distinct from Kshetrajna, is always distinct from Kshetra. And Kshetra doesn't exist apart from Kshetrajna. It is Mithya, Atma is Satyam, Kshetrajna is Satyam. So therefore, for the one who understands this truth very well, for that person, for that person alone is the freedom. Moksha is. Therefore, the cause for Janma is this wrong knowledge, false knowledge. The moment that false knowledge goes away, the person becomes free. Therefore, samsara, the cause for samsara is this association, sanyoga between that which cannot be connected. And that is possible due to avidya. Kshetra and kshetrajna are connected by this avidya maya. And the disassociation, which is viyoga, that is by knowledge. Therefore, if there is no physical dissociation or there is no physical association. All this association and association is notional. Then dissociation also has to be notional only. That is why Shastra. That's why after Jnanam, Shastra also dismissed. Therefore, Yavat Sanjayate, this Kinchit, this Tavara Jangamam, Kinchit, Yavat Sanjayate, may you understand that to be that is due to Kshetra Kshetragya Sanyoga. So Kshetragya Sanyoga is the cause for samsara. Therefore, Kshetragya Viyoga is the means for moksha. May you know that yes, not that, but you have to supply. Sanyoga is due to aviveka. So therefore, Sanjayate is not really born. Therefore, Sanyoga, aviveka, kritat, it is Sanjayate. May you know. That is why we say why for moksha the knowledge of oneness of or knowledge of the distinct understanding of Atma and Anatma is required for moksha. Knowledge of the distinct understanding of Atma and Anatma is required for moksha. Why? Because kshetra ke sanyogat sanjayate stavar jangamam sattvam stavar jangamam sanjayate samutpadyante sattvam tadvastu. For viyogat eva kshetra ke viyogat eva moksha. Therefore, the cause for moksha is only through jnanam. Sanyoga is the cause for samsara. Viyoga is the cause for moksha. Therefore, may you understand that the connection between kshetra and kshetrajna, that is, because of that, a thing is born. Therefore, janma karanam is this sanyoga is the karanam. Sanyoga is due to avidya. Janma is there, therefore maranam will be there. Maranam is there, therefore janma will be there. The cycle will be there. Therefore, if you want to get away from this cycle, get freedom from this cycle, then there is the need for viyoga. That viyoga is only by the knowledge, clear knowledge of kshetra and kshetrajna. Therefore, kshetrajna sanyogat tavara jangamam sattvam sanjayate kshetrajna viyogat muktaha bhavati. Therefore, that is the knowledge. So, what is the cause for birth is told. The birth is due to avidya. Then what is the cause for moksha? Moksha is knowledge. Therefore, the knowledge of Kshetra and Kshetrajna is important for moksha. Distinct understanding of Kshetra and Kshetrajna. And Kshetrajna is not different from Ishvara. And Ishvara is in the form of this Jagat Namarupatmakam. This Jagat is Nitya. Therefore, Ishvara alone is, that knowledge alone liberates the person. Iti. So may you understand this clearly. Tat Vidhi He Bharatarshaba. Then, having said this, the Bhagavan, the next shloka presents the vision of the person who has this knowledge. Though he has presented in other chapters also, sixth chapter and other chapters, the vision of the Jnani. Again, here he presents the result of this vision. What is his vision? And and the vision is due to what? That he says. Vision is due to Jnanam. Jnanam of what? Jnanam of Ishvara. And Ishvara is not different from me. Therefore, Aikyam also, Aikya Jnana. The vision is Aikya Jnanam, the person who has his vision, that vision of the person is presented. Let us read. Similar shlokas are also seen in the sixth chapter. Samadarshanam, Sarvatra Brahmadarshanam, Samadarshanam, Ishvara Darshanam. The same idea is presented here. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram.
समं सर्वेषु भूतेषु तिष्ठन्तं परमेश्वरम्
Vinashyat swavinashyantam yah pashyati sapashyati.
विनश्यत्स्वविनश्यन्तं
यः
यः
पश्यति स पश्यति.
Is it not similar to Sarvabhutasthamaatmanam Sarvabhutani Chatmani Ikshate Yoga Yuktatma Sarvatra Samadarshanaha Yo Mam Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvam Cha Mahi Pashyati Tasyaham Na Pranashyami Tachame Na Pranashyati. So the knowledge is presented. Yah pashyati sapashyati in many places in the teaching is there in many places in the Gita. So the same is presented here also. The samam, samatvam, samoham sarvabhuteshu, samam sarveshu bhuteshu. In the fifth chapter also, the samam, the word, meaning of the word we saw as Brahma. So samam, nirdosham ki samam Brahma. Tasmad Brahmani te stitaha samam iti. So the vision of the person who has a vision. What is the vision? Sarveshu bhuteshu samam tishtantam Ishvara sarva bhutatma Riddheshe Arjuna tishtati. The 18th chapter also the same idea is presented. The same teaching. So this is one of the Shadlinga. Shadlinga is Upakramopasamharaha. Abhyasa Purvatapalam. Abhyasa is repetition of the teaching. So whenever the context, whenever the occasion comes, or not, or occasion is created, the teaching is repeatedly said. Tatatvamasi, Tatatvamasi, Yata in Chandogya. So earlier also the teaching is, you can see that teaching in different chapters through different shloka, the words are different. Sometimes the words are also same. The teaching is presented. So the same, this is the teaching. The same is presented. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu. Which is sama? Ishvara is samaha. Brahma is sama. So that do not differ from person to person. Atma to, there is no different Atma from Shariram to Shariram. It is one Atma, it is Parameshvara, Paramatma. which is sama tishtantam. It is tishtati paramatma ishvaraha tishtati sarveshu bhuteshu. The one who sees that. Yaha pashyati. The one who sees is the one who sees. It means that person is a real seer. That person sees something different from what other people see. Others see the differences, whereas Jnani doesn't see the difference. Jnani sees only Atma, whether others sees the differences which are due to this Upadhi. That is Upadhi Beda. Therefore, there is Beda Drishti. Jnani doesn't have Beda Drishti, Advaita Drishti, Atma Drishti. Therefore, he sees the same Atma, Paramatma in all the beings. Therefore, Samam, Sarveshu Bhuteshu, in all the Bhuteshu, Samasteshu Bhuteshu, Stavara Jangameshu, Atmakeshu, Brahmadi Stavaranteshu, Sarveshu Pranishu, all the beings, starting from Brahmaji up to Stavara, Chetana or Achetana. It is Brahma Eva. Therefore, Samam, Tulyam, Tishtantam, Stitim, this, Nivasantam, Parameshwaram, Paramatmanam, Pashyati, Yaha Pashyati, Saha Pashyati, he alone sees. What about other people? Even though other people have eyes, they do not see. They through see, they through gross eyes, they see the differences, whereas a Jnani, through his Jnana Chakshu, he sees a non-difference. Through gross eyes, he also sees the differences in their Kshetra Jnani, in their differences in Anatma. Not that Jnani could not or would not recognize the differences in Anatma. He can, he would, of course. But he has got Jnana Chakshu. In spite of the differences, he doesn't see the difference. That is why Yaha Pashyati, Sa Pashyati. Sometimes he thinks, what is Yaha Pashyati? He sees, the one who sees is the one who sees. What does it mean? It means Yaha Pashyati, Saha Pashyati. It means he alone sees, others do not see. He alone sees the Atma, Paramatma, which is Param, which is Samam, which is Param, which is total, Purnam. And where is it? Not located anywhere. When we say Purnam, it must be Vyapi. Therefore, Sarveshu Bhuteshu, Tishtantam. So therefore, that Kshetrajna, that Purusha, that alone Bhagavan said before, Kshetrajnam Chapimam Viddhi, Sarva Kshetreshu Bharata, same teaching. Kshetrajnam, may you know me to be Kshetrajna, obtained in all the Kshetra. Therefore, Mam Parameshwaram. Therefore, the one who remains as Sama equal in the form of existence, who gives existence to everything. And that is Sat, Brahma, Ishvara, Parameshwara is Purnaha, Anantaha, limitless, total, not bound by the Upadhi of the being, Anatma. Upadhi is subject to distraction. Therefore, Vinashyatsu, in the Vinashyati, Vinashyanti, Upadeyaha, this Anatma Vinashyati. So, Vinashyatsu, Anatmasu, Avinashyantam Atmanam Yaha Pashyat. In the bodies which are subject to destruction, the one who sees that which doesn't die. Body dies, mind also dies, all the thoughts also, every moment it is rising and dying, everything, they are all bound by time. The Jagat is bound by time. Everything is Jagat. This Jagat is subject to change, dies, changes. But what doesn't come and go, which is always is there as a witness of everything, a Sakshi, which is Satya, Satyam, which is Brahma. Therefore, what goes away is only Namarupa, but Satyam Brahma doesn't undergo any vikara. Okay, one may question. Okay, Vinashyati is not there. What about other vikaras? Asti, Jayate, Vardate, Viparinamate, Apakshyate. Finally, only Vinashyati. What about other vikara? Vinashyati itself, Vinashyatsu, Avinashyantam, when we say that Atma doesn't have that in the Atma which doesn't undergo destruction, when we say, how other vikaras are possible? Therefore, all the other vikaras are not there. So by negating the final vikara, all the purva vikaras are negated. All the janma, that is vikara is asti, jayate, vardate, finally vikara is vinashaha, that is antima vikaraha. Antima vikara pratishedena sarve purve vikaraha nishidyante. All the other vikaras are negated. Therefore, Atma is nirvikaraha, nirvishesham, nirvikaraha, nirgunam. That Brahma, that Atma, yaha pashyati, who sees in this imperishable body, that in the imperishable body, the imperishable Atma, that person is the one who really sees. What about other person? Other person do not see because they have got timira. Timira means cataract. Therefore, that's why only Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Nilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. That is why to remove this Ajnanatimira only, therefore the teaching the Guru is required. Therefore, Yaha Pashyat Yaha Vinashyastu Sharireshu Degeshu Avinashyantam Atmanam Paramatmanam Parameshwaram Sarvabhuteshu Tishtantam Parameshwaram Yaha Pashyati Saha Eva Pashyati Anye Na Pashyanti Anye Ajnanaha Na Pashyanti iti. Next Shloka we will see the next class. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudramarutah Stambhanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopaniषदैः Gayanti Yam Samagaः Dhyanavastitatatgadena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginah Yasyantam Navidusura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Dhanyavadah.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಶರಣ್ಜಿ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಶರಣ್ಜಿ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಹರಿ. ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ போயிருந்தது எகைன்